and thank you for joining us. I'm Lincoln Transportation and Utilities Director Liz Elliott. Joining me this morning is Margie Propp, who will be interpreting for us. Thank you for being here today. Also in attendance are the Lincoln Police, Lincoln Fire and Rescue, and Lincoln Parks and Recreation Departments. Exactly 1 year ago today, Lincoln was experiencing its first snow of the season. This year, temperatures are again starting to dip and snow isn't too far away. When winter weather does appear, the city is ready. Our essential workers have been preparing for winter over the past year. Each team, each department works together and finds ways to assist each other no matter what time or day. We are all here to help keep the community safe. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities snow fighters plow 2,600 miles of streets during large snowstorms. That's enough to drive to New York City and back. Snow fighters work around the clock to keep emergency, bus, and school routes open and keep the roads clear of snow and ice. While they're plowing the streets, Lincoln Police Department and fire and rescue crews respond to emergencies, and Lincoln's police officers assist with traffic control. Over at Lincoln Parks and Recreation Department, their team clears many miles of cycling and walking trails for those who depend on the routes daily. Every department here is essential to this city. We thank each one of you for your service and have resources and information available at snow.lincoln.ne.gov. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities is fully stocked with salt and brine. Every winter, we learn more about how to effectively and efficiently keep our streets clear of ice and snow, and we apply those lessons to improve our operations. Every storm is different, and we rely on pavement sensors and weather forecasting to make data-driven decisions on the best use of our machinery, materials, and staffing. The department has extended its residential plowing test program into a second winter season. During last year's historic 15-inch snowstorm, this program resulted in residential neighborhoods being cleared at least 72 hours earlier than they would have been under the previous plan. This team of city and contractor crews worked together to decrease the chance for ice and snowpack to develop on residential streets, while increasing our effectiveness on the streets. Each department is prepared to be back at it this season. Through the past year, Lincoln Transportation and Utilities Winter Operations and Maintenance Team has enhanced training for inspection services, fine-tuned its communication procedures, and will keep using GPS tracking systems in city and contractor vehicles to track plowing progress in real time. This technology has not only given snow fighters additional insight, but will also offer the public a live look at the plowing progress in their neighborhoods and around the entire city. The snow fighting progress map is only available during the snow events. So when the snow begins to fall, the public can go to snow.lincoln.ne.gov to see where plows are working across the city. 5 companies will assist with clearing residential streets this season. Our winter operations experts will continue to make data-driven decisions that may deem plowing of residential streets necessary in just 1 or 2 areas of town, or it may deem necessary across the entire city. Safety is our priority. We work hard to keep the streets accessible if an emergency were to occur. That's also why we put parking bans into place. In order to clear as much snow out of the center of the streets as possible, there are 3 different kinds of parking bans. When an emergency parking ban goes into effect, parking is banned on both sides of emergency snow routes, arterial streets, and bus routes. During snow removal district parking bans, parking may be banned on both sides of the street and in certain areas of town. This allows for crews to collect and remove large amounts of snow in busy or dense locations. Residential parking bans take place in neighborhoods. The ban is based on the odd or even numbered year we are currently in. So if a residential parking ban goes into effect in 2021, residents need to avoid parking on the odd number side of the streets. But beginning January 1st, 2022, since it's an even numbered year, residents will avoid parking on the even numbered side of the street for the entire year. To keep informed when parking bans go into effect, residents can sign up for winter operations email. Go to snow.lincoln.ne.gov to sign up now. For additional information on parking bans and other essential services, I'd like to welcome Lincoln Police Department Chief Teresa Ewens.
Thank you, Liz. I personally cannot wait for snow to start falling this season. Coming from San Francisco, I haven't been able to experience the level of snow Lincoln typically sees. As for our team, I have great confidence in our officers. No matter if it's 20 degrees outside or it feels like negative 20, the Lincoln Police Department will be out in the elements assisting the public. As we focus on doing our part, we'd like the public to start thinking about their own preparations as well. Consider stocking your vehicle with winter weather roadside kit. This could include ice melt, a small shovel, flashlight, blankets, and hand warmers. We urge residents to create a parking ban plan now for where you will park if and when parking bans go into effect. Make a plan that allows you to park your vehicle safely without the risk of being towed. The goal of a parking ban is to move as much snow off the street as possible. The last thing we want to do is tow any vehicle that is blocking the way for a snow plow to plow the street, which in turn hinders emergency response times. Parking ban notifications are given to news outlets, posted on city social media and website. And as Liz mentioned, the public can sign up for direct emails. These resources are all available at snow.lincoln.ne.gov. If your vehicle becomes stuck on stuck on ice or snow on city streets, stay with the vehicle until it can be moved from the roadway. It is not safe to stay with your vehicle. Please contact the non-emergency number at 402-441-6000 to provide your contact information and vehicle location. We want to help avoid vehicles being towed. I am looking forward to experiencing my first Nebraska winter. Drive safe and thank you.
Thank you, Chief Ewens. We'd like to remind drivers to be extremely cautious when driving out in the elements around big vehicles like snowplows, fire trucks, and buses. When large snowstorms sweep through Lincoln, the snowplows work to clear snow from the center of the streets and push it into the gutters on the sides of the streets. This is the safest place for additional snow to go. However, this can sometimes leave extra snow in front of a driveway or an entrance to a business. A tip for those who want to avoid scooping additional snow in front of their driveways: make sure you scoop up to 10 feet to the left of your driveway or business entrance to avoid the formation of a windrow. This way, the additional snow collected on the snowplow will have a place to go when the plow passes your property, and you can avoid it landing at the entrance of your driveway. I'd like to now welcome Fire and Rescue Chief Dave Engler to the podium.
Thank you, Liz. Keeping Lincoln safe during winter storms is a team effort. Lincoln's firefighters, snow fighters, officers, and Parks and Recreation teammates have been preparing for this all year. Just like our essential city teams, we know the public is doing their best to provide safe spaces for themselves and their neighbors. We thank you for your efforts. City ordinance requires property owners to clear the snow and ice from sidewalks by 9 in the morning following the end of a snowstorm. Next to the sidewalks are fire hydrants. There are more than 12,000 fire hydrants across the city. Last year, our fire and rescue crews had to dig out many fire hydrants during emergencies, which hindered their efforts to be as effective as possible. This is just a reminder that if there's a fire hydrant near your property, please take a moment to dig around the hydrant and shovel a path directly to it. Other safety reminders include to inspect your furnace and change filters. This is also a good time to replace the batteries in your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Do not leave candles, fireplaces, and space heaters unattended. These quick safety reminders will benefit you and your neighbors in case of an emergency and save precious time if a fire breaks out. If a resident is unable to shovel or snow blow their property, we encourage them to make a plan with a family member, friend, or neighbor. Another resource available to the public is to connect with the volunteer group Snow Angels. These volunteers have signed up to assist their neighbors with shoveling or snow blowing their properties. The volunteer group is currently accepting new volunteers. Go to snow.lincoln.ne.gov to learn more and sign up now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. The city continues to find ways to enhance the community's quality of life. Lincoln's bike and trail system isn't used just for outdoor physical activity. It's a connection to necessities for many, and one of the easiest ways to get around Lincoln efficiently. This is why our trail system is a valued part of Lincoln's landscape. I'd like to now introduce Parks and Recreation Director Lynn Johnson with more on this.
Thank you, Liz. Parks and Recreation has equipment and staff dedicated to snow removal to keep our popular trail system accessible year-round. Lincoln's trails are used more than 1 million times a year for recreation, commuting, and getting to and from school. Of the 134 miles of trails, about 90 miles have all-weather surfaces. About 70% of these all-weather trails are school walking routes. Clearing all-weather trails is a priority for our team anytime we have snowfall of 1 inch or more. It is our goal to have school walking routes open and accessible for students. Parks and Recreation is also responsible for clearing snow from sidewalks around the perimeter parks within 24 hours of a snowfall. We want citizens who use trails as a transportation option to know that they can depend on our department year-round. Once done clearing Lincoln's trails, many of our teammates join Lincoln's snow pallet team and help clear Lincoln's streets. This is just one more way we all work together during weather events. Even if it's cold outside, healthy outdoor activities are still important. Lincoln's parks are a great place to visit during winter months. Sledding options include the Sled Hill at Pioneers Park, the Face of the Dam at Holmes Lake, and Tanker Hill in Arnold Heights Park. The trails in Wilderness Park are well suited to cross-country snowing after snowfalls. Ice skating signs will be posted at Oak Lake Park and at Holmes Lake when the thickness of the ice is safe for skating. Our team has started winterizing restrooms to prepare for freezing temperatures. 2 park restroom locations are scheduled to remain open all year round. They include Pioneers Park and Holmes Lake Park. Trail closures and other important information about trails can be found at lincoln.ne.gov/trails. Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. If residents have not already winterized their homes yet, now is the perfect time to do so to avoid any frozen pipes. Drain and winterize sprinkler systems, remove hoses from exterior faucets, and seal any openings near your water pipes. With more than 291,000 people living in Lincoln, our streets, transit, sidewalk, and trail systems offer a variety of transportation options for the public. Lincoln's winter teams are ready and willing to continue to enhance operations every year. Citizens can always go to the city's non-emergency communication app at uplink.lincoln.ne.gov to leave questions and comments. We will now open it up for questions.
Yeah, we're, hold on.
It takes a little bit.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.